Hello and welcome to the MSc TESOL here at the University of Bristol. My name is Robert Sharples and I'm the Programme Director here for our work in teaching English to speakers of other languages. I'm going to tell you a little bit about our programme. I'm going to tell you about why it's a fantastic place to study, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about how to make your application as strong as it can be. I'm going to finish by giving you our contact details. We'd love to hear from you, whether you're thinking about applying and would like more information, or whether you're already in the application process. To start with, a little bit about the city of Bristol itself. So it's several times been rated one of the best places to live in the UK. It's a really green city and a really vibrant city. Our campus, centred around our buildings in the School of Education on Berkeley Square, is at the heart of things. So you'll quickly find your way not only to the libraries, but to the life of the city itself. But you're coming here, of course, for the taught programme. So we divide this into 3 terms. In the first term, you take 3 core units. Pedagogy and curriculum ties together your experience and your interests with the theories and concepts of curriculum and teaching pedagogy. This is your foundation for a lot of the work that you'll do on the Masters. But of course, to be a language teacher, we need a really good understanding of language itself. So you also study second language learning, or SLL as we call it. This focuses on how language is learned and acquired, and it has real implications for your teaching. Finally, in the first term, you study a unit on research methods for language education. This sets you up primarily for your dissertation, but also gives you real skills that you can use in your professional career, or if you go on to higher level study. In the spring term, we have 1 core unit, expanding notions of language, and 2 option units. So in expanding notions of language, we take what we learned in SLL and take it in a new direction. Rather than looking at how language is learned and acquired, we look at how it's used, and we look at a really wide range of settings, from children being socialised into the first use of digital tools in the home, through to how language is used in securitization, how it's used online, how it's used in multilingual communities. This gives us a really expanded set of thinking about language, and it challenges those sometimes sterile dialogues that we see in the textbooks or those very dry grammar-based syllabuses. What you're doing here is getting your understanding really enriched, so when you go back in the classroom, you have so much more to offer your students. It also lays the groundwork for some really exciting dissertation and thesis projects. You'll also take 2 further units that I'll show you in a moment. At this option unit stage, what you're really doing is developing your specialism, identifying the lines of inquiry you'll follow in your dissertation. And in the summer term, you do the dissertation itself. That's a substantial piece of scholarship under the guidance of one of our expert team. And it's worth saying that here on the MSc TESOL, we're a tight-knit team. So it's myself, Dr. Matt Kadzierski, Dr. Francis Jampapa, Professor Gorshing Yu, and Professor Jennifer Rousel. All of us teach on the programme, and we all have a long history of scholarship in the area of TESOL and language education. So you're going to have that close relationship with the teaching staff while you're with us. We have a range of option units available, some from within the TESOL programme and some from within the School of Education more broadly. So language testing and assessment, as you might imagine, covers how we assess language. It's a really popular unit and a really important one for a wide range of language education careers. Learning resources in TESOL look at materials design, but more than that, about the role materials play in our development of curriculum and our classroom practice. If you want to look more conceptually, globalisation and the politics of English looks at how the language is expanded beyond the boundaries of the UK and other Anglophone countries and how it works as a global language. And finally, bilingual and multilingual education helps you understand how language teaching and learning changes when more than one language is at play. From elsewhere in the School of Education, led by our close colleagues, cognitive neuroscience and classroom practice and creativity in the classroom offer you that breadth of study. So what does a week look like? That sense of community that I mentioned before is really important to us. So you might start and end your week by meeting with your study group, talking through what you're about to do or what you've done so far. The study group is a really important part of our programme, as are the student reps and all the other opportunities that students have to work with us and with each other. It gives you a chance to process what you're learning, to put it in context, to have your thinking challenged and expanded by people who are coming from different professional backgrounds. And our students come from a really wide range of professional experiences. We try to keep each unit to its own day, where timetabling allows. So you'll tend to study one unit on each day through the week, and that just gives you that time to reflect a bit more deeply and to read a bit more widely as you study. We know that language is really important, not just for what we teach, but how we study as well. So we offer a really rich programme of language support, our academic language and literacy sessions that are tailored to your work in the MSc TESOL. And that's going to help you communicate in your writing as strongly as you can. We've also partnered with a trusted external organisation to offer the Cambridge CELTA. That's the Certificate for English Language Teaching to Adults. It's an internationally recognised practical qualification that complements your academic study. Now, there are additional entry requirements to that, but it's one that I think is really valued by the students who study on it. So, your application. What we're looking for is a sense of who you are. So we'll have your CV, we'll have your application documents. In your personal statement, tell us about your teaching experience, what you've learned. Were you assisting or were you leading a class? Were there any students that really challenged how you think, that changed how you teach? What are you passionate about in your work? That's what we're looking to come across to us. What motivates you? Tell us about your studies so far. We'll see your grade averages, of course, but again, what units that you studied inspired you? What did you find challenging but overcome? And that sense of the whole person is really important to us. And tell us about your career goals and aspirations. What we're looking for really is that level of detail that helps us to see who you are in a relatively short application, but also to gives us a sense of what your interests are. That's what sets apart the really strong applications from the others. Now, our programme is highly in demand, so we have a lot more applications than we can ever offer places to. There are strict language requirements, of course, and we supplement that with our academic language and literacy options. We're looking for a good undergraduate degree. Now, in the UK system, that would be a 2-1 or a distinction, or its international equivalent, of course. We can, in exceptional circumstances, offer places to applicants with maybe a 2-2 or equivalent. In those cases, because of how in demand the programme is, make sure you take the time to tell us what you've learned that is in addition to your academic experience. And that's going to be your professional experience, your voluntary experience, and so on. Everyone on our programme will have professional experience. But that can be from really any background. We have materials designers, we have leaders, we have people who work in policy, we have people who work in kindergarten, primary, middle school, high school, tertiary education. We have students who work with adult refugees and students who work with business people at a high stage in their career. There's a space for you, whatever your background is. And our job is to bring together that breadth of experience in language education and help you find where you're going to go next with it. So that breadth of our community, both in the students and in the staff, is, I think, really important to us. But you'll also benefit coming here from that really long-standing history of scholarship. We're all experts in TESOL and language education, but in addition to that, we bring our own specialist work in a whole range of fields associated to this. You'll study both the practical, the conceptual, and the methodological. So we're trying to help you get to a stage by the end of the Masters where you know what you want to do next in your career, and maybe you know that already, maybe you're not sure, but by the end, you'll know where you want to go and you'll have the tools to achieve highly. And because of this approach, our graduates are highly in demand. So we have very good success rates for students moving on to doctoral level study, including winning highly prestigious scholarships. We have students who go on to start their own school, to take on more senior posts, or just to stay in the classroom and deepen their experience as a master teacher. You take that approach that's really centered on your learning, and you add to it the CELTA option, the academic language and literacy, and I think you'll find we have a program that can really support you to achieve what you want to do. So I'd certainly encourage you to get in touch with us. That email address there, if you pop in what you're looking for, they'll make sure it gets to the right person, whether it's one of our admissions team or to myself as program director. I'm looking forward very much to hearing from you and hoping to see you here in September. Okay, take care.